My name is Judy Weinstein. I've been involved with the Federation since its inception, both as a volunteer and a staff person.
And how was it that you first got involved?
It was some friends of mine, very good friends of mine, that convinced me that I needed to get involved in the women's division. And that was my early involvement, although just before that I went on a women's mission in 1985. That was the thing that really pushed me to get very involved in the Federation when it eventually became the Federation.
And where was that mission to?
The mission was to Israel. It was a Canada women's mission to Israel.
And what was it that made that connection for you there?
I'd been to Israel several times before, but this one was special. This one, first of all, was just with women. Not that I didn't enjoy going with my family, but there was something about just being with women from across the country, and there were some from South America and Europe who were also there, that just got me right here.
What do you think the biggest challenges were for you back then and for Federation back then?
I think underfunding was a big problem. I believe that our agencies were definitely underfunded. My recollection is that Israel received about 80% of the funds in those days, and our agencies only got 20%. So that was a big problem.
What kinds of differences have you noticed, be it at Federation or just in the community at large, versus 30 years ago and today? Are there any particular things that really stand out for you?
Well, I think certainly our community has grown, although I haven't seen all the latest stats on that. We definitely raise more money. I know that we've probably, since I first got involved, raised twice the money we used to all those years ago. I think that the Federation is doing so many different things now that they didn't do before. Security things, programs more for seniors, leadership development initiatives, those kinds of things that probably were done in a lesser degree then, but today it's a whole new ballgame.
Thinking back to, let's say your first 7, 8, 10 years, were there any particular events, achievements, anything that really stands out as a particularly strong memory for you?
Yes, definitely. When I stopped being, I was always a volunteer in terms of canvassing, but when I joined the staff of the Federation, it was to be the coordinator of the Seniors Advisory Council. And that was a pretty newly formed group, and we were very fortunate to receive a very large funding grant from Health Welfare Canada called the Seniors Independence Project. So I became the coordinator of that. And it was a very, very exciting project to be involved in. It really gave seniors a voice in this community. I think we made a terrific video at the time. We had forums, we did a needs survey. It was very special, and I think would be, to me, my greatest achievement here.
Maybe you could tell us a little bit about why Federation is important to you.
Well, Federation is the umbrella fundraising organization in this community. And I think now it is really recognized as such and is held in high regard. So I think that it's very important to be involved in that. I think the whole involvement in Federation probably stems from my need to be involved in our community, and my parents served as role models in that respect. I come from Edmonton, which was a much smaller community, but both my parents were very involved in the then UJA campaign. And my mother actually was the chair of the first women's division campaign in Edmonton. My father was very involved also. And it was always important to me to try and give back something to the community. The Federation felt like a good fit for me. I think my involvement in the Federation, both as a volunteer and as staff member, will always be very, very important to me as I look back on my life. And the relationships I've made with all kinds of different people. The one thing I didn't mention before was I was also the director of leadership development at some point, and started this group called the Young Adult Division, YAD. And when I go to Federation events now and look around the room, I see many of those young people that were in that group as leaders in our community, in all kinds of different agencies within the Federation, chairing the campaign. It's very heartwarming, and so it means a lot to me to see how important those things were that I did in my life.